What up, everybody? We're back. FloTrack Podcast, episode, I believe, 479. But technically, we've done 481 episodes because we had two emergency podcasts. First emergency podcast was when they canceled NCAA indoors in 2020. It's when the pandemic started. So that was worthy of an emergency pod. And the other one was when Sha'Carri got banned for weed. We did an emergency pod then. So what will be our third emergency pod? Let me know in the comments or whatever. Email us. What do you think? If you can predict the next emergency pod. We do a pod almost every day now, so it's kind of hard to have an emergency pod. I could argue this is an emergency pod because Kevin Durant is now asking for a trade, and maybe he'll be at the Sixers. But this is not an NBA podcast. This is a track and field podcast, and we had a pretty good Diamond League. I mean, it wasn't one of the best Diamond Leagues, I'll be honest, but there were unique moments that I feel like kind of stand out and maybe have an impact on my thoughts of World Championships, which is now, less than 3 weeks away. Super exciting. I'm back here in Austin, but I'll be flying back out to Eugene in about 3 weeks or so. So excited for that. But this is the end of the Diamond League season pre-Worlds. This was the final Diamond League pre-Worlds. Yesterday was the end of the world ranking window. So they have the finalized world rankings as well, which has an impact on who is going to be selected to different teams. We'll get into that later in the pod. But first, we want to react to what we saw on the track these past 2 hours. And 400 hurdles on both the men's and women's side showed out. Start with Femke Bol in the 400 hurdles. She runs 52.27, keeps on getting quicker. Now I know Sydney McLaughlin is the overwhelming favorite. The girl is running world records left and right. But Femke Bol is inching closer and closer and closer. Now, not close enough for Sydney to be worried, but if Sydney has a bad day, Femke Bol is going to be right on her heels and ready to pounce if need be. She runs 52.27, Diamond League record. She's now normalizing running 52 seconds. We look at the current descending order list. You got Sydney McLaughlin obviously running the 51.41, and now Femke Bol, who's just a year younger, less than a year younger, 52.27. Now, that's what? 0.8 of a second. That's a lot of time. 0.8 of a second is a long time in a full lap race. But man, Femke Bol is looking good, and she looks to be getting better and better as the time progresses towards Worlds. And I think Femke is going to be prepared to run sub 52 seconds in Eugene. And if that's true, that means Sydney's going to have to earn it. She's going to have to earn her title. I think she will, but she's going to have to earn it because Femke is running well. She's the clear second best 400-meter runner in the 400-meter hurdler in the world. Little Muhammad is still kind of an unknown with her dealing with injuries and, with her having the bye, she's not as, locked in during this regular season. But Femke Bol, hell of a run. It's pretty exciting because, as much as you want the Sydney show to go on, you kind of need that, that side character to kind of change it up and make Sydney have to earn it. So I'm excited for that 400-meter hurdles. And also, we talk about Femke Bol. This is kind of the regular season of the overlooked 400-meter hurdler, right? Because on the women's side, you had Delilah and Sydney, and Femke was kind of like that third party. She was the what's the phrase? Oh my gosh. When you're on a date with 3 people. Third wheel. Yeah, sorry. Femke Bol was the third wheel, but now she's becoming the second wheel here. And now on the men's side, Dos Santos, just a few days after Rai Benjamin runs the world lead, breaks 47 seconds, runs 46. Very quick. Makes it look easy. Got me excited. Got me thinking, Dos Santos we may not have Warholm, but we are going to have Dos Santos versus Benjamin. And Dos Santos, who is 3 years younger than Rai Benjamin, goes out there and runs 46 seconds in the 400 hurdles. Again, Warholm, it's still an unknown. I don't think we're going to get 45-second Warholm, but Dos Santos running 46 seconds. Benjamin just coming off a 47 flat. That 400 hurdle, even without the world record holder, can be something interesting in Eugene. Dos Santos just looking great the entire time. Just no sweat. Again, he was the third wheel last year, looking like he might become the second wheel this year to go, maybe even the first wheel. I mean, Dos Santos is running 46.8. That's enough to make Rai Benjamin be like, I got to watch out for the Brazilian. I got to watch out for him. Dos Santos looking great. Breaks the Stockholm record, whatever that means. I mean, there's meet records and then there's Diamond League records. Diamond League records are the ones you really want to break. Meet records, how often is that mark run there? But good run there for Dos Santos 46.8 and gets me excited for this 400 hurdles. We thought it was kind of down. City now running world records. Dos Santos and Femke Bol coming together, doing their thing. I can't wait. So 400 hurdles. But now let's talk about the story of the meet because the guy didn't run. We're talking about the men's 100. So men's 100, before we talk about the result, we got to talk about who wasn't on the start line. Marcel Jacobs was supposed to be on the start line, the Olympic gold medalist who just last week ran a couple 10-1s to win the Italian championships, was scheduled to run in the Stockholm Diamond League and then pulled out because he was feeling a little bit of pain during his warm-up. Okay. I think today is the day we officially rule out Jacobs from medal contention. Like, I know he has the history of kind of being, no one's thinking about me, and then I'm going to win the Olympic gold medal in the outside lane. We saw it, and it was amazing. And we kind of looked at it, hey, maybe that was a fluke. He showed up, and he did his thing at the World Indoor Championships, beating Christian Coleman. So he has gone 2 for 2 on the watch me list. He's gone 2 for 2. But him going 3 for 3 right now is not looking good. He's just running 10-1s. He clearly is not 100% because he had to pull out of the Stockholm Diamond League. He didn't pull out because of the competition. The competition wasn't a bunch of Colemans and Curleys and oblique Sevilles out there. It was Simbene, who's pretty good. Reese Prescott, he's all right. Jimmy Foucault, I mean, let's be honest. This is like a semifinal. This isn't a final type field. Simbene, 10:02, into a headwind, probably worth a sub 10. Simbene's good. He's not like running 9.8 good, but he's good. But yeah, this Jacobs situation, I think we got to kind of, I know you should never write someone off. Like, you should never, and especially in track and field, because when you write someone off in track and field, they let you know after to all the people that wrote them off. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to write off Jacobs. The guy's hurt. He's not the 9.8 guy we saw a year ago. He is different. He's still talented, but he's clearly limited from his whatever his leg injury or whatever you want to call it. He's hindered. He's not in full strength. And in order to win a global title, you need to be full strength. That's why we're kind of worried about Carson Warholm. It's going to be hard for him to win a global title not at full strength. So Marcel Jacobs DNSing, and I think, I don't know, I just don't see it. I think he's officially off my list of medal contenders, 100% off the list of gold medal contenders. And I think we're going to have a new global champion. We could probably have 3 consecutive different global champions. Ooh, fun stat. This is interesting. So I'm going to look this up. We do 100 World Athletics 100-meter champions in the. Okay, so since 2009, we've never had 3 different global champions in a row. Because 09 was Bolt, 11 was Blake, but 2012 was Bolt. 13 was Bolt, 15 was Bolt, 16 was Bolt, 17 was Gatlin, 19. Oh, actually, we did have it. Because 17 was Gatlin, 19 was Coleman, 21 was Jacobs, and now 22, we're going to get someone different. So we're going to have a different global champion at the 100 meters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 championships in a row. That's nuts. That is nuts. So what an event. The event was all one guy for basically a decade in the 2000s and late 2000s, early 2010s, to now it's a different guy every year. I mean, Coleman could come back and win, and that'll be kind of 2 repeat, but, we're going from Bolt to Gatlin to Coleman to Jacobs to probably someone different. Pretty wild. But yeah, so that was the kind of story going into this meet. Nothing much really out of that 100. Pretty milk toast type 100. Moving over towards some of the mid-distance races, Keely Hodgkinson in the women's 800 gets beat. I mean, we were looking at Hodgkinson as like the marquee runner to defeat a Thing Mo. Now she loses this race here, runs 158. Mary Mora of Kenya runs 157. Good run for her. She's now run 157 a few times. The women's 800 starting to become a little bit of a toss-up type race. It used to feel like it was kind of an understood. You got a Thing 1, Hodgkinson a clear 2, and then whoever 3. But now with a Thing Mo almost losing to Ajay Wilson and Mara Mora beating Keely Hodgkinson, we're seeing kind of a little bit of parity coming along, which gets me excited. Women's 8 is going to be not a known commodity. It's going to be very, who's going to have it on the day type race. And I like that. Sage Herder had a good run for the Americans, runs 158 again. Brooke Feldmeyer breaks 2 minutes, 159. But yeah, Mora is now turning into a legitimate medal contender. Hodgkinson's still there. Can't take away what she did last year. She's still going to be in the mix. Still runs 158. Just didn't look like she had it in the final 100. Mora just looked like clearly had a different gear that no one else had. And kind of very similar to the men's 800, because I want to talk about the men's 800. Okay. A few weeks ago, I'm not sure how long ago it was, in the men's 800, we saw a man, I forget his first name, men's 800, the last event, Colt, on the list. Bring up the results. Mula of Algeria. He got second in a weird race. It was like he had a huge kick, and he got a huge kick to get second. He lost to one of the Kenyan athletes. Hold on, pause. We have my smoke alarm going off. We're going to do a quick 10-second pause. Just talk to each other in the chat. Starting now. Okay, we're back. I have yet to buy new batteries for my fire alarm, so it goes off every 12 hours or so. Anyway, Mula had a great kick for second, and then I put all my money. I went all in on my Mula. I went all in. And I think the guy from Algeria, after seeing this Stockholm Diamond League race, seeing him pull away from everyone, he had that 5th gear that no one else had. He's going to win the global title. It's just like the way the 800 is playing out, obviously a little bit unknown. There's not many 143 guys. There's some Donovan Brazier's obviously dealing with his injury. There's Emmanuel Corrier didn't run well in this race, the Olympic champion. Mula is ready to roll. The guy has a kick. He's going to be in 5th place with 100 meters to go in Eugene, and he's going to kick down everyone for the win. And he's going to run like 143.2. It's going to happen. Mula looked good. I love it. 144.6. First Diamond League win. Beat Benjamin Robert, beat another Frenchman. So it wasn't that crazy of a field, but still. Mula, get in on it now, ladies and gentlemen. Just get in on it now. You want to be part of the group who believed in Mula when no one else even knew who he was. That's what you want to be. Join me. Join the Mula gang. The guy's going to win global gold less than a month from now. All right. Speaking of unknowns, Mula is starting to become more of a known as he gets better. Let's talk about the ultimate unknown. Labula. I think I said his name right. He is an athlete refugee. He's only 23 years old. His 1,500 meter PB was 3:39. For perspective, 3:39 is probably like 50th in the NCAA. So he wasn't any, there's no pizzazz to his resume. But then in this men's 3K, he's going up against Jacob Kiplimo, who we hadn't seen in almost a full half year. He ran a road race back in February. And Jacob Kiplimo looked like his normal self. He controlled that race. He had a great kick. He was able to look like, hey, Kiplimo is going to be a contender in the 5 or 10, whichever he chooses. He clearly has the wheels. Doesn't seem like he lost a beat. But Labula, who's hunting him down in the final 200, is able to keep form. Kiplimo starts losing his form because he's running out of gas. He's going full tilt on that final 20 meters. Labula, still staying in good form, is able to pass him with about 10 meters to go. And the guy who no one has heard about, who hasn't really had that much of a great PB, comes in and runs the world lead, runs 7:29 in the 3K. Incredible. And I'm just like, we got to add him to the list. We got to add Labula to the list as potential global champions. Because if you can outkick Kiplimo, if you can run the world lead this late into the season in a 3K, you got it. I mean, you have the talent. You have the ability to do something special at the global stage. So Labula, first of all, love the last name. Labula. That's going to be a fun name to like shout when you're doing play-by-play. Labula around the back turn. Gotta love it. Big run for him. Super unknown, right? I think I saw he's a refugee from Sudan, I believe, from like 10 years ago. So like when he was a kid. Now age 23, he's kicking down Jacob Kiplimo. Hell of a story. So excited to see what he does at the Global Championships in a few weeks. Yeah, in May, he ran 8:14 for a 3K. And then in June, he's running 7:29. It's incredible. Anyway, all right. Let's keep going through the list. Any other notable results? The women's 100 hurdles. This was my chance for Jasmine Camacho Quinn to kind of have a big response to what the Americans did in the 100 hurdles. She didn't really give it to us. She runs 12:46, albeit into a headwind. It is, it's not the big stage that she's trying to prepare for. It is just a side Diamond League. So she's still going to be a factor when it comes to it. But you got to like the Americans' chances, because if Camacho Quinn would have ran 12:3, I would have been a lot more nervous for the Americans' chances to win gold. Women's 200, Dina Asher-Smith, 22:37. I'm sorry, but every time I see a 22-second 200, I'm always kind of like, we know there's better. We know there's a few women in the United States, a few women in Jamaica who are running 21s. So Dina Asher-Smith, 22:37, nothing to really write home about. Again, it is still, though, the tune-up for the race that matters. That's what it is for all these athletes. Like, yes, it's a Diamond League. Yes, it's a big stage, but they all know. They all know that win or lose, they're all going to be judged in 3 weeks' time. 3K steeplechase, again, nothing to talk about there. We'll want to talk about the men's pole vault, because Mondo Duplantis. This is ridiculous. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's getting out of hand. The guy on a second attempt. It didn't take him 3 attempts. It took him 2 attempts. At 6:16, throws down the world lead, which is also the world record because it's his personal best. He vaults 6 meters, 16. Incredible. Mondo freaking Duplantis in his home country in Sweden throws it down 6 meters and 16 centimeters. Very high up. Extremely impressive in the pole vault. I mean, Mondo, you're just incredible. You are incredible. We've been talking about you since you were like a junior or sophomore in high school, talking about you when you're doing crazy things at LSU. But now you're throwing down the outdoor world record, 6:16 in Stockholm, and it only took you 2 attempts. It's incredible. I don't even know what to say. I'm kind of at a loss for words. I mean, I'm going to be doing this again. He's going to vault 6:17, and then he's going to do 6:18, and then he's going to do 6:19. He's just going to keep going. And the guy is so young. He's not even in his prime. You can argue he's still a few years away from his prime. Still a few years away from his prime, and he's breaking the world record multiple times. They don't call it a world record. They call it an outdoor world best, which is weird. Just call it a world record. Why are we calling things outdoor world best? Doesn't make sense. But Duplantis gets the job done. And the fact that he did it in 2 attempts is just what's incredible. He didn't need 3 attempts to break the world record. He just needed 2. I still want what I want. I want Mondo to just walk in to Eugene, wait for everyone to get eliminated, and then go do 1 vault at the next height that everyone missed at, and then go home and be like, I'm going to win a global title in 1 vault. That's how you cement your legacy. Win a world title with 1 vault. No, just 1. Just do it. Anyway, Mondo Duplantis, incredible. World record. Times it well. If he doesn't win, this will be an interesting podcast, which we'll probably do sometime next week or the week after, is like, who is the lock of all locks to win gold? You talk about Sidney McLaughlin in the 400 hurdles, maybe a Ryan Krauser in the shot put, Mondo now in the pole vault. There's certain, I'm trying to think. This would be a good conversation. Triple jump. There's different events where you can see like, there's no way this person's losing. And I think Mondo may be the ultimate lock. I think he's going to be ranked number 1 among all the gold medal favorites. The guy just broke the world record. The guy just has no one near him in his vicinity. Like, if another person vaults over 6 meters, it's going to be incredible for them. And he's going to be like, yeah, well, I can do it like almost, I can go 6:16. Like, I can go so much further. Anyway, I'm digressing all much on this pole vault. Let's look into the chat. Is the chat saying anything? First of all, chat, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you having fun along the ride as we get ready for World Championships. See what people are saying. Yes, Rojas, triple jump. She is an ultimate lock, but I'm going with Mondo over Rojas. We'll debate it. We'll debate it next week. Who's more of a lock, Rojas or Mondo? I think I'm going with Mondo. What are people saying? Dina Asher looks sick. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, clearly Dina Asher is better than running 22.3. So it's just like the women's sprints have just gone to a new level where you need to be like all-time type greatness to be considered, a favorite for a medal. I mean, you look at this. Jamaica's going to have 2 21.5 women. USA is going to have 3 sub 22 women. Like, it's just a lot. There's a lot of talent in that women's 200, and ultimately even more talent in the women's 100. So, okay. So we got Welljanks Jenkins. Call me when Femke breaks 52 or gets within 0.3 of a second. Delilah is the one she should be worried about. She's laying in the weeds and ready to make Sydney chase. I disagree. I don't think Delilah is playing some grandmaster move here to, you know, figure out a way to beat Sydney by not running USA's. I don't think Delilah is ready to run world record type pace 3 weeks from now. But I do think Femke Bowl will be able to hang with Sydney through 7, maybe 7.5, 7 or 8 hurdles. I still think Sydney's going to pull away in the final 2 hurdles, but Femke's going to be there. Sydney will not have this won until the final hurdle. Like, it's going to be close. You're right. She's going to break 52. Femke Bowl is 100% breaking 52 seconds. I just think Sydney's going to probably run 51 low. Tourette guy, who have better kick than Mula? Nobody. That's why you need to join Team Mula. Mula is the move. He's the person that everyone needs to be jumping on that bandwagon. Some people talking about, Marcel Jacobs. Nothing too Chris. David Tolson, was Sha'Carri at Stockholm post-meet interviews to speak on behalf of all the athletes? No, she wasn't. She was not there to speak on behalf of all the athletes. That is a one funny side note of that 30-second speech that Sha'Carri gave to the media at USA's, when she implied that she was the representative for all the athletes, when basically all the athletes, win or loss, for the most part, stopped to talk about winning or losing, except her. So anyway, but Sha'Carri's right to not talk to media. You're not required to do it. But the media is also not required to not ask you to stop. Hey, you have a question? We have a question for you. No, I don't want to do it. Okay, end of conversation. But you refusing to do an interview is a statement in itself, which the world is going to react to however they want. Media is still just going to, you either ask the question, you either choose to answer it, choose not to, whatever pill you choose to take. It's not the media who's going to judge you. It's the people who are going to react. Some people are going to be like, yeah, don't answer the media's question. We love you. And some people are going to react, you're a coward for not answering the media's question. The question is, which one do you want to listen to? We're just going to ask the question, and you are feel free to say no comment or tell us your life story. It's up to you. We'll film either version. Who do you think the Oregon is going to hire as their new coach? That is a great question. For those who follow the NCAA, University of Oregon, Robert Johnson is not having his contract renewed, so there is probably the most marquee coaching job available right now in the NCAA, the Oregon coaching job. And there are some people that we have been thinking about. I would say there's a big 3 in my mind. In no particular order. I won't rank the 3. But the thing about this Oregon job, 1, you need to be a great coach, obviously. And then 2, you need to be a great, face of the program, ambassador. You got to do non-coaching things. And if you're not good at doing non-coaching things, you may not be good for that role. And now these 3 people, I think there's one of these 3 people are probably good at both of those. 2 of the other 3 are only good at one of those. But in no particular order, I would say if I was at Oregon and I was the athletic director and I had to come up with a interview list, this is who I would interview. I would interview Mike Smith, Northern Arizona. I mean, come on, see what he's doing at NAU, winning constant cross-country titles. The guy knows how to coach distance. And Oregon has a long history of great, distance success, and Mike Smith would be the guy to have. Mike Smith, I'm not sure how much he knows about sprinting. Probably nothing, but you have to hire a good sprint coach to kind of handle that for him. But Mike Smith would definitely be a viable candidate for the Oregon job. Number two, again, in no order. There's no order here. I would go with Diljit Taylor, BYU women's head coach. You see what she's doing with, not limited resources, but unique situations, having a coach at a school like BYU that has the Mormon code. It's kind of hard to get people who aren't Mormon to run there. So it's a little bit of harder for recruiting purposes. But you see what she's doing with her teams, winning cross country titles, individual titles. She just had Courtney Wayment get second in the steeple. She's on the run, and she's super personable. She'll be great face of Oregon. I think Diljit Taylor of BYU would be a good candidate. And it would be pretty badass to see a woman have the top coaching job in the NCAA. And then another person, Jerry Schumacher, Barrowman. He's already there in the Northwest, the Northwest area, Portland. Got the Nike connection. He sure knows how to coach elite talent. We see that with Bowerman getting, I think, 5 people to USAs and more when he go to non-US athletes. The thing is, though, Jerry, he's a secretive guy. He may not want to get into the NCAA world where you have to talk a little more and doing all the recruiting and all this stuff. His kids are older now, so he might have more time on his hands because he's not, going to local high school competitions. But I think Jerry Schumacher would be a big get for Oregon. And then after that, I made a wild card. What if Carl Lewis? We know Leroy Burrell left Houston. What if Carl Lewis is like, I'm going to go to Oregon and change things up? Carl Lewis, one who will always have an opinion about the state of our sport, always talks about, how popular the sport was back in the 80s when he was one of the star athletes. Maybe him being at the helm of Oregon could make a big change for good. But it's not going to be Carl Lewis. But if it was, that'd be cool. I'm just going to say it. No bias. I just think it'll be cool. But then, I don't know who else. Those are the 3 that I thought of that people around Eugene were kind of talking about it, at the bar and stuff. Yeah, maybe that person. Oh, yeah, I can see that. So we'll see. But that's who I think. Those are the big 3. Again, no particular order. I have no idea. It could be also none of those 3. This is all just hearsay. I'm not reporting. So don't aggregate this. I'm not reporting. Not reporting. Anyway. All right. I think that's it. That's Stockholm. We will be back Tuesday. So it's going to be a long time of no podcasts. We did a lot for you. There's a lot more podcasts coming down the road when we get to Worlds. But next week's schedule will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. And then we'll go into the Monday, Wednesday, Friday of the following week. And then it's every day at Worlds. So we'll see you guys on Tuesday. Enjoy the 4th of July weekend. If you're not from America, have a cold one. Have a nice beer in honor of USA. Why not? Start a fire or something and call it a firework and have a good old time. I'm sure. Start some fireworks. 4th of July. Be safe. Have fun. Get some relax. And we'll see you guys on Tuesday as we are now in the countdown to the World Championships. Regular season is over. All the best athletes are now officially resting, putting their feet up on their couches, getting ready to fly to Eugene and make some noise. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, do your thing. Also, if you're a member, we made 2 member podcasts, so check them out. They're on the YouTube feed. You guys want to listen to those? Talk about ranking odds for U.S. athletes there. Oh, one last thing. Cool. Bring up, if you go to the website, okay. We created a graphic of who is on Team USA based off of the world rankings. USATF will officially announce Team USA in a few days, but go to the homepage, show the screen, called 2022 Team USA. It's a top banner on our site, and we list everyone who would make Team USA because there are some people. There's a lot of people who got in on world ranking. They didn't have the standard, but they got in on world ranking. So check that out to see who's going to represent US in Eugene, and it's a lot, man. A lot of four athlete teams because of the buys. Pretty cool. So check it out. Enjoy the weekend. Like, subscribe. Talk to you later.